And now for our next news special report.
Tonight, a political earthquake rocks Washington. Bombshell revelations from Biden insiders expose a White House in crisis. We've got exclusive footage you will not believe. A former Clinton aide dropping a shocking claim about debate sabotage. CNN analysts melting down on air over Biden's catastrophic poll numbers, and a Democrat delegate issuing a stark warning that could tear the party apart. So stay tuned for my final thought on why this matters to every American. This is a special report you cannot afford to miss. Now, my fellow Americans, just as the Democrat Party finds itself in crisis, our channel faces a similar struggle. For over a decade, we have been your beacon of truth, but today we are on the brink of collapse. Like Biden's presidency, our mission is under threat. Now, this isn't just about us. It's about preserving the voice of truth in America. We've tried everything to stay afloat, much like the Democrats are scrambling to save face. But we are facing our own cognitive decline in the form of demonetization. We've been silenced for 16 months, our appeals falling on deaf ears. Yet like those insiders who are speaking out, we refuse to be silenced, and we need your support now more than ever. Whether it's a donation or sharing our message, your help is crucial. Together, we can keep the flame of truth burning bright. Find the links to support us in the description below. Now, we are witnessing a seismic shift in our political landscape. The Biden administration, once touted as a return to normalcy, is now embroiled in a crisis that threatens to reshape the 2024 election. So let's start with a bombshell revelation from veteran journalist Carl Bernstein. His sources inside the White House paint a disturbing picture of the president's cognitive state. Watch.
Remarks tonight provided another data point for anyone trying to assess his physical and mental state from a distance. Tonight, though, after a weekend of calls for him to bow out of the race and sharp rebuttals from his supporters, we have some new reporting from Carl Bernstein, CNN political analyst and author and legendary journalist. So, Carl, according to the people you've been talking to, what are you hearing?
Well, these are people, several of them, who are very close to President Biden, who love him, have supported him, have been among them are some people who have raised a lot of money for him. And they are adamant that what we saw the other night, the Joe Biden we saw, is not a one-off, that there have been 15, 20 occasions in the last year and a half when the president has appeared somewhat as he did in that horror show that we witnessed. And what's so significant is the people that this is coming from, and also how many people around the president are aware of such incidents, including some reporters, incidentally, who have witnessed some of them. But here we see tonight, as these people say, President Biden at his absolute best, and yet these people who have supported him, loved him, campaigned for him, see him often, say that in the last 6 months particularly, there has been a marked incidence of cognitive decline and physical infirmity.
What I wonder about
Bernstein's words should send chills down every American's spine. Now, this isn't a one-off incident, but a pattern of decline that's been apparent to insiders for months. As our founding father John Adams once said, liberty cannot be preserved without general knowledge among its people. It's our duty to bring you this truth. But the story doesn't end there. A former Hillary Clinton aide has now come forward with an explosive claim. The recent debate was a soft coup designed to oust Biden. Now, this headline tells 1,000 words. The Democrat establishment, it seems, is willing to sacrifice their own president for political gain. It's a reminder of the power struggles that our founding fathers warned us about. Now, let's talk about Vice President Kamala Harris. She might be holding the key to the Democrat Party future with the massive $91 million campaign fund, but there's a catch. She can only access it if she becomes the presidential nominee. Now, this financial ace up her sleeve could be a game changer in the unfolding drama. But here's where it gets even more interesting, folks. My research shows that even if Biden is replaced by someone other than Kamala, the new candidate could still potentially tap into the war chest. The catch, Biden would need to give the green light. Now, it isn't as simple as handing over a piggy bank. The Federal Election Commission has strict rules about this kind of transfer. Donors might need to be informed, and the new nominee would have to jump through some legal hoops to make it happen. The Democrat National Committee would also have a say in how all this goes down. So the financial chess game adds another layer to the power struggles that we're seeing unfold before us. Now, it's not just about who takes Biden's place. It's about who gets control of that campaign war chest. As our founding father Alexander Hamilton once said, power over a man's substance amounts to power over his will. In this case, power over the campaign funds could amount to power over the party's future. Meanwhile, the aftermath of Biden's debate performance continues to reverberate. CNN data analyst Harry Enton couldn't contain his shock at the latest poll numbers. Watch.
Do we have new poll numbers for President Biden post-debate?
We do. You know, CBS News YouGov conducted some polling post-debate. We can compare it to the pre-debate numbers. And the bottom line, Alice, it's not any good. It's not any good. Look at this. Voters who say that Biden has the mental health to be president, it was just 35% pre-debate. Look where it's dropped to now post-debate, 27%. How about that he should be running for president? It was 37% pre-debate. It's now 28%. I have never seen numbers this bad for an incumbent president during my lifetime. I mean, that mental health to be president, just 27%. You might say, okay, you know, that's low, but a lot of people thought Biden was too old back in 2020. These numbers look nothing like this back in 2020. These numbers were bad already. And the truth is, Allison, they have gotten just considerably worse, even in just a few days after that first presidential debate.
So his reaction speaks volumes. These aren't just bad poll numbers, they are historically abysmal. When only 27% of voters believe the president has the mental capacity for the job, we are in uncharted territory. And the panic within the Democrat Party is palpable. Former Biden advisor Ashley Enton tried to put a positive spin on the situation, but even CNN's Anderson Cooper wasn't buying it. Watch.
Ashley, I mean, you worked on Biden's 2020 campaign. You worked communications for Vice President Harris. The difference between Biden and 2020 debates and this last one is obvious. How can the president reassure people who watched him with pain and fear on that debate stage?
I mean, I think he actually did it on Friday. I think he actually doubled down on it tonight. But here's the narrative.
Those are teleprompters.
No, absolutely they are. But, you know, he still looks strong and with it even on those teleprompters. And, you know, there are times in which many elected officials, even former President Trump, has not looked strong on a teleprompter. But here's the thing that I think that is that's being lost. And I'd like to go back to what Axe said, and that is Trump also reinforced the negatives about him. You know, he had none of the challenges that Joe Biden did, but still also underperformed.
Sure. Now, Cooper's challenge highlights the growing rift between the party's public stance and the reality they're facing behind closed doors. As Benjamin Franklin wisely noted, half a truth is often a great lie. But perhaps the most explosive development comes from within the Democrat ranks themselves. A Biden delegate, Arvea Martin, issued a warning that could tear the party apart. Watch.
First of all, Stephen, who are we agreeing? There's a long list of Democrats: Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer. The list goes on and on and on. You've named 4 or 5 people. Where is their consensus? You've got to build consensus, and there is not consensus right now. If you pick a white man over Kamala Harris, black women, I can tell you this: we're gonna walk away. We're gonna blow the party up. If you pick the black woman,
where you gonna walk away to, Ariva? Where you gonna walk away to? You gonna walk away? You ain't gonna walk away to Trump.
Over Kamala Harris. So where are we getting agreement from on who this ideal Democratic candidate should be? Tell me that. Nobody's told me who it should be. And then tell me how you're going to get the 4,000 delegates, which I am one of them. I'm a delegate coming from California. So who's going to step out? One, tell Joe Biden you got to step aside, because everybody's not being mature about this process. Joe Biden is not just the president. There's a whole team of people. There's an administration. So if Joe Biden, when he gets reelected, which my prediction is that he will, he brings with him Kamala Harris, the most diverse administration in the history of this country. Y'all need to just stay the course. We got more black judges appointed under Joe Biden than anyone, even President Barack Obama.
That is not the point, because we're not, once again, hold on, Ariva. We are not.
I don't know anything about sports, but I know you don't give up on your star player in the middle of a game.
Okay, excuse me, time out. Let me explain to you. I can give you a host of examples of when teams have given up on a star player that has gotten a bit too old and beyond his prime. It happens in sports all the time, not just with coaches, but also with, not just with players, but also with coaches and also with executives. That's absolutely not true.
You tell me why every Democratic primary that has taken place between the time Democratic primary started this year until today, Joe Biden has won those primaries. If all of these Democrats wanted someone other than Joe Biden to be the candidate on the ballot in 2024, they had an opportunity before June of 2024 to make that a reality.
No, they didn't. The primary was fixed. Okay.
And I don't know about all those sports figures that's been changed in games. I'm going to take your word for that. But I bet you they weren't almost at the finish line when you decided, let's change them out. We are almost at the finish line. We have an opportunity to save this democracy. And I bet you blow up Joe Biden, you might as well give Donald Trump the keys to the White House and let him start ruling the country in office.
Sounds good to me. Now, Martin's threat is clear. If the Democrats choose a white man over Kamala Harris, black woman, will blow up the party. This internal strife could be the final nail in the coffin for the Democrats' 2024 hopes. So as you look at the bigger picture, it's clear the Democrat Party is in disarray, from Biden's cognitive decline to internal power struggles and threats of mass voter exodus. The situation is dire. Now, this image encapsulates the crisis perfectly. At least 4 Democrat lawmakers, including a sitting congressman, are privately calling for Biden to drop out of the race. The question now is, how long can the party maintain this facade of unity? If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. My fellow Americans, what we've uncovered today is nothing short of a political earthquake. The Biden administration is crumbling from within, plagued by cognitive decline and internal power struggles. The Democrat Party stands at a crossroads, torn between loyalty to their leader and the reality of his declining capabilities. So this is not just about politics, it's about the future of our republic. As voters, we must demand transparency and accountability from those who seek to lead us. The chaos we're witnessing should serve as a wake-up call to every citizen. Our system of government relies on informed and engaged voters to function properly. Remember the words of Thomas Jefferson: if a nation expects to be ignorant and free, in a state of civilization it expects what never was and never will be. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and may God bless America.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.